Well, not my finest prediction. Destroy was the word I used. I would maybe class it more as a light breeze. England nil, Ghana nil. 2 words. Total shit. I'd like to apologise to my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. I underestimated you lot. You guys are pretty good at defending. I think England thought they were playing past the parcel and not in a World Cup group game. It was actually diabolical at times. Later on in the video, of course, I will do the player ratings. Spoiler alert, they're going to be low. But England just lacks so much intensity in this game. And I think that we saw it in the first half against Croatia as well. And I feel like because the second half was pretty good from England, we all tried to kind of just like imagine it never happened. But we've hit a reality check last night. This is no disrespect to Ghana. They defended really well. Obviously their game plan was to play for a 0-0. And they did that very, very well. But England are not going to win the World Cup if they can't beat Ghana. And I mean that as respectfully as possible. There was no urgency. There was no, gun-ho, let's go for the game at all at any point in that game. And I didn't really notice it that much. And I got about 75 minutes in. And I was watching with my dad, actually. And I said to him, have we actually done anything in this whole game? And he was like, well, no, we haven't. We're shit. Also, Anthony Barry, who is, I think he's Thomas Tuchel's assistant coach, last game at halftime on ITV, he basically came forward and said, we've been terrible and we need to up the intensity. And then after that, it worked. So they must have said the same right thing in that game. This game, he did another interview. Oh, yeah, well, we've got to be patient. We're doing the right things. Well, we weren't. We weren't doing the right things at all. And I think Thomas Tuchel is a good manager, and I think he's the right manager for this England squad. But he got it wrong last night. He did. And Ghana, like I said, they defended heroically. They could have had a few penalties as well. And England's only real proper chance in the game was Harry Kane skying over from 5 yards and Nico O'Reilly hit the bar, which was unlucky, but it would have been a bit of a snatch and grab, really. Snatch and grab, I think, smash and grab. And yes, we are still top of the group, and that is the main priority. I understand that, but you've got to take performance into account. I want to get onto the player ratings because some of the players were absolutely diabolical last night. First of all, Jordan Pickford, I'd probably give him a 6. I mean, he didn't really have much to do. I said this about Jordan Pickford all the time now. I don't really like Jordan Pickford. I'm not saying he's not the worst goalie I've ever seen. I just don't like his personality and how he's so erratic to everything. I think we should have a calmer goalkeeper, and I think the defence would be a lot more settled. But he didn't have anything to do, didn't do anything wrong. So for last night, I'll give him a 6. Reece James, I'd probably give him a 5. Didn't go forward very much, and when he did, this crossing delivery was very poor. But we've not seen the best of Reece James yet in this tournament, and that is a bit of a worry for me. Now the 2 centre-backs, Mark Gahey and Ezri Konsa. Now I was a big advocate for Mark Gahey starting in my last video, but unfortunately Mark Gahey didn't really show why he should be starting for England. I'm going to give them both a 4 out of 10, and that might be a bit harsh because they didn't have a lot of actual defensive actions to do. But the build-up play starts with them, and they kept putting their foot on the ball, taking too long, slow passes. They weren't good enough. And we've actually seen now their recovery pace isn't as good as what we think it is. So against Panama, I want to see a bit more intensity and a bit more urgency in the centre-backs building up the play. Jed Spence, I actually thought he showed a bit of energy. I'd probably give Jed Spence a 6. I don't think he was terrible. He wasn't great either. That left-hand side was like a ghost town. Elliot Anderson, probably my man of the match, actually. I'd probably give him a 6.5. Tidy, didn't really give the ball away. But I think with Elliot Anderson as well, we'll give him criticism. There wasn't a lot of line-breaking passes. There wasn't a lot of forward-thinking play. So he's got to do better in that aspect. Declan Rice, I thought first half he wasn't that bad. Second half wasn't great. I'd probably give him a 6. His corners were good in the second half, but there was a few free kicks even he did in this game, and they weren't great deliveries. I know he was hobbling after the game, so I do hope he's not injured because he's very important for us, Declan Rice. But again, I don't think we've seen the best of him so far at this tournament. Jude Bellingham next. Weirdly got man of the match. I don't know who the hell decided that. Even he didn't agree with that. Hard to rank Bellingham. I'd probably give him a 5 because I think his standards are so high. He didn't create too much. He had a few glimpses where he'd gone past a few players, and I mean, I kind of remember him wanting to have a fight more than anything yesterday. Madueke, not great. Probably a 5 as well. I think Madueke has this thing where he backs defenders into the box, and then once he's done the hard part, he doesn't take them on and run past him. He cuts back and passes it back. And he's stopped doing that. I still don't know why Saka's not starting. I'll talk about him in a minute. He has to play the next game now. Anthony Gordon on the left gets a 0 for me. Yeah, you heard right, 0. If anyone in the comments can tell me anything that Anthony Gordon did in that game, I might give him a 1 out of 10. but I generally don't remember him doing anything apart from a pass back of a shot. He shouldn't be playing for England. He should not have played the last game. He definitely should not have played this game. He definitely should not be playing in the next game. I don't know what Barcelona was smoking when they paid £70 million for him, but they probably want a refund. I know I would. He needs to be dropped. He's not been good enough at all. And Harry Kane, up front, had a very, very poor game. Obviously missed that shot. He had another shot which was straight at the goalkeeper. He didn't really get involved as much as Harry Kane normally does. So I'd probably give Harry Kane a 5 as well. You know, a lot of the Bellingham and Kane, they might have played better on the night, but I differ in standards on these players. He's got to score that chance 100%. You know, a player of his quality has to at least get it on target from 5 yards out. I mean, fuck me, come on. Now onto the subs. Bukayo Saka, I'd probably give a 6. He wasn't anything, you know, generational. Had a nice shot that got saved. He just looks so much more threatening than Madueke. So I don't really know what we're doing. I think I know he's not fit, but he looks fit when he's playing. So just get him on the pitch. Against Panama, he has to play. Rashford, I'd probably give him a 6 as well. Again, when he came on, started putting more crosses into the box. Decent crosses as well. He looks more threatening than Gordon did for 2 games straight now. And I've always thought our best front three, and I'm not saying player for player, they're the 3 best players we could play, but it's Saka on the right, Rashford on the left, and Harry Kane up top. I feel like that brings more fear into defenders' eyes, rather than Gordon, who just checks back in and passes it back all the time. And Madueke, he doesn't even know what he's going to do when he gets the ball. Nico O'Reilly, probably a 6 as well. Did it at the crossbar. Should he have scored? Maybe. Morgan Rogers, some decent touches, but didn't really impact the game. Probably a 5, and I'd probably give Eze a 5 as well. Again, tidy, but not threatening enough. As Thomas Tuchel, unfortunately, he's getting a 4 for last night's actions. I think we set up the same way we did against Croatia. We were waiting for Ghana to come onto us and press us, and they just never did. They just sat back, and we couldn't carve them open. They were so compact. They were so good at defending. And Thomas Tuchel didn't really change much or change the way the game was going. Yeah, it's disappointing. But look, now, England versus Panama is our next game. The last game in the group. It is a must-win game if we want to top the group. And if we don't beat Panama, there's something wrong. There genuinely is. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of the match and you think of England's chances at this World Cup. They're slipping by the minute. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Take care and peace.